Hello, friends, and welcome to Nerd News' first reaction content. I am here with special correspondent Del Borovic. You can say hi, Del.
Hi, I'm here.
Perfect.
I made it.
And I am special correspondent Ryan LaPlante. We are here to react and give you our immediate reactions to Agatha All Along.
Yes.
We are going to go through the entire show. We're going to watch every episode, and at the end of each episode, we are going to take, realistically, a bathroom break, and then immediately return to this studio to tell you what we thought of what just happened. We are excited.
Yes.
We don't really know what we're doing.
Excited and scared.
Neither of us has seen this show.
No.
Okay, Del, we are journeying into Agatha All Along land together. Have you seen WandaVision?
Yes. So that's about the only thing I know about Agatha in general. She's a magic person.
Yep, we're going to step into slight spoilers for WandaVision.
Oh, sorry.
No, we're still good. We're still good. We don't know that much. Also is in all the material.
That's true.
But we are not going to spoil anything for Agatha All Along yet. We will tell you when we are shifting over. But you've seen WandaVision.
Yes.
Agatha's magical.
Yeah, that's about all I know.
She's a witch.
Yeah. I don't know any more specifics than that, really.
It was her all along. She had a very memeable song for anybody who wants to engage with that.
Yeah, a big part on WandaVision.
What do you know about this series as somebody who theoretically is coming in cold? Have you heard anything about this from the media? I think you and I have both avoided. I've seen one spoiler of plot at this point.
I have seen nothing. I literally know nothing. I only know that other people have been talking about enjoying it. And that it's cool and it has a lot of ladies. That's literally all I know. I have managed to avoid everything. I haven't even seen a picture of a spoiler. I don't even know where it starts.
Do you know anything about the cast?
No. I know nothing. I have a handful of friends who are still keeping up with the Marvel stuff. But I feel like, especially because it's been Halloween time, everything that I've been seeing showing up has been way different content. So I have no idea. I literally know nothing about this except for I saw Agatha in WandaVision. So I assume it's about her. That's it.
Perfect. Anything I would say would now be a spoiler for you.
No, don't tell me.
So no, we got to go in completely cold. Okay. Right. Are you excited for Agatha All Along? What do you think this is going to be on a scale of 10? I'm going to say for a Marvel show and then for a show in general.
Okay, for a Marvel show, I feel like people have been talking positively about it, and that hasn't existed in a while. There's been a lot of like dead drops that have come out that people have been like not been pleased with. So I'm feeling like maybe for a Marvel show, I'm hoping for a 7 out of 10.
Solid. What is there a 10 out of 10 for you of the Marvel shows right now? Just so people can barometer themselves in.
See, here's the thing: is like even Marvel shows now. No, my favorite Marvel show of all time is still Jessica Jones season 1.
Perfect.
That is
a very solid 10 out of 10.
That's where I'm at. I've rewatched that one a few times. That's my favorite. There's a lot of other ones that I've enjoyed. I feel like I've enjoyed watching them, but similar to the Marvel movies, I enjoy watching them, and then when they're done, I forget about them completely. So even like Agatha in WandaVision, I know she was in it, and I know it was part of like a big plot twist, but I literally don't remember what it was. So because it's like it left my brain.
The twist was?
It was Agatha
Here's the funny
Along.
thing.
I think
I may be wrong, which would be the funniest version of this. I think the twist was Agatha was secretly the one behind the whole thing trying to manipulate Scarlet Witch to get control of her magic. So Agatha had been secretly the villain of WandaVision.
Right.
Scarlet Witch was causing a lot of it and couldn't let it go.
Yes.
But Agatha was trying to play out the scenario.
She was tugging the strings behind the scenes.
100%.
Yes.
She was the evil villain with a web that a hero is trapped in.
I think once I got like 3/4 into that, my brain apparently turned off. So
I was just like, I really like Catherine Hahn.
Yeah,
I remember talking with you. I remember talking with Tyler, who will appear on some version of this show in future. Special correspondent Tyler Hewitt.
He'll be here.
We'll not for this. Not for this show. But
one day. He's our friend, we promise. He'll come back.
He can't leave. We won't let him. But no, so so that's your 7. You're expecting a 7.
Yeah.
Your 10 is the first season of Jessica Jones. Very strong choice.
Yes.
For a general TV series outside of the Marvel verse, where do you see it falling?
4 out of 10.
And what is a 10 out of 10 for general TV?
That's a great question. What are my 10 out of 10s are like early seasons of Dexter, Breaking Bad, The Wire. Like those I feel like
the big classics. Great. That's super clear.
Now you have to answer the same question.
I absolutely will. Okay, on a Marvel scale, I'm going to go out there. I feel like this might be an 8. I feel like there is a good shot. I know things about the cast you don't know that I'm excited
you know
about.
Things I don't know about.
That gives me more hope than I would otherwise have. Also, I like Halloween stuff, so I think it's going to score a little higher for me just because it's spooky.
Yeah. Well, that makes it... See, for me, I'm so tentative that even though I'm assuming it's about witches and magic and stuff, I'm like, they're gonna bait me, and it's not gonna be in it.
It won't be till like the final episode.
I'm coming in angsty.
9 episodes, and you get witches in episode 9.
Exactly. So I'm like, I don't trust it. I'm coming in with angst.
I'm gonna come in with hope.
Good.
Normally I don't, but I feel like this is the show that I've got hope for. A 10 out of 10 from the Marvel series. I really liked Punisher. I really like the Punisher. Not there are specific episodes where I'm like, maybe not this intro one, but like once we're into Punisher, anything with John Bernthal as Frank just crushes. And I am going to pick a show that is not currently in the Marvel pantheon of shows, but is Disney in the same kind of era. Andor. I love Andor so much. I like once it gets into it, I really love it. I think it's fantastic. And my hope is that Agatha All Along is like a different speed than some of the stuff we've seen already.
Yes.
That is
a hope, for sure.
I like, because I feel like anytime we get a series that's a little different, tells a little different, it just expands a different way. And then generally, I think this will be... I'm going to stick with my hope. I'm going to stick with hope.
We're leaning towards hope.
I'm leaning towards hope in this era of just post-Halloween.
Yeah.
I am going to say a 7.
All right.
And 7
overall.
is I'm picky about my TV, so I would say 7 overall. Favorite shows that are 10s, I would say, I mean, in the comedy world, I'm always coming back to The Office of any variety. I love Veep. I love South Park. I'm just a giant child when it comes to a lot of comedy. But dramatically, Andor would actually be up there for me. I really like that show. The Wire is pretty priceless.
Also, True Detective Season 1 is probably up there for me. All these are super dramatic. So
super
that's
dramatic, which is interesting. But also, you and I have been watching Star Trek The Next Generation.
Oh, and that's
fantastic.
been glorious.
And Trailer Park Boys is fantastic. I got a wide range of stuff that I would argue.
That's true.
Which is that you can be a 10 out of 10 in your own genre, too. So if this is specific, I'm like, this could be a 10 that isn't The Wire, but I don't believe in the Oscars. They don't all have to be dramatic
they don't all have
films.
to be dramas. Yeah, you're totally right.
Yeah.
I agree. All right, well, I'm excited to see what happens. I want to be proven wrong. I'm coming in angsty when I usually come in hopeful, because maybe it'll prove me wrong.
We flipped so hard on this.
I don't know why this is not usual.
So we are going to go and sit down 10 feet from where we are now and watch episode 1.
Let's go.
We will be back and report to you on our findings right now.
Woo!
We are back, having finished season 1, episode 1, Seekest Thou the Road of Agatha All Along. I checked the title just before we came back.
That's
great. Showed.
Wow.
An instant for you, however many minutes that was for us.
Yep.
Del, how do you feel?
I'm feeling a little bit more hopeful than I was going in. I think because I feel like there's a lot of good open questions, and like I'm intrigued. And so far, even the characters that have been presented, I'm like, okay, I'm intrigued.
We were shocked by the sheer amount of True Detective we got right out the gate. Haven't talked about True Detective.
Yeah, like it's doing it.
I do not know why I did not expect, but it came at me as a tremendous left curve that they were still going to be doing genre play with the show.
Oh, did we say we're doing spoilers now? Did we do that? Is that a thing we should do?
Oh,
We're talking about the episode now. Don't listen if you didn't watch it yet.
That's reasonable. Yeah. It's spoilers. From this point on any of our watchers, we'll be fully spoiling the stuff we've talked about. We said we were going away and coming back, so spoilers.
Yeah, it's spoilers now.
We didn't spoil anything big before that.
No.
Okay, we're good.
It's genres.
I can't believe they're playing with genre like WandaVision right at the gate. I can't believe I didn't think of it.
No, I know. I think because I had this assumption that it would be totally different, or it would start with magic stuff or whatever. So instantly we were like, what's happening? And then we're like, it's the genre thing again. Yeah,
I was like, is she? At first, I don't know why, but I was like, We both realized, we don't remember what happened in WandaVision.
No.
It took us about 20 minutes to be
I told you that.
Del was like, this has to stand on its own. We're done trying to guess what happened in WandaVision.
We can't go back, because if we have to go back to that, we're going to have to go back further to know what was
We're going to have to watch the Avengers. Then we're going to have to watch Captain America, the first Avenger. No.
We're here for this series.
But I was wondering, how... did she become a cop? I could remember so little.
Well, yeah, because instantly you thought, maybe it's a total flashback to her at the beginning of her existence. And then she said Candy Crush. It's modern. What is happening?
Yeah, because I was like, could this be that Agatha was a police officer before she was a witch.
Yes.
Like, is this the Agatha origin story? Because I know very little about the plot of this.
Right.
And then it was like, oh no, it was there.
And then it was like, did she purposely hide herself in a police department on purpose?
Yeah, we had like interesting questions. Yeah. And then we felt like we were getting answers. We were like, okay, it's weird at the library.
Yes.
It's weird with the books, but we're seeing, the ladies in this cast.
The cast of ladies already. All
fantastic.
Bangers. Oops, all bangers. Like, it's beautiful ladies cast coming out.
Yeah, and they're all people that I recognize. I'm like, oh, she's cool. Oh, she's cool.
Yeah.
From That 70s Show to Buffy to Parks and Rec.
Yep, right? Yeah.
To Catherine fucking Hahn.
Yeah. So
it has them all. And Aubrey Plaza is already doing 10 out of 10 fantastic work in this show.
Yeah. The fact that she can convey so much with just a silent look, I'm like, how? What?
Yeah, we were talking about this, and it was just like, even as it was happening, I was like, she is so good that she can give us 3 sentences and be like, here are 3 more layers to the show.
Yes.
She shows up as the FBI, but it was just the performance. And I'm like, 2 sentences in, I was like, oh, okay, so Agatha is a witch, Aubrey is a witch.
Yeah.
Agatha does not know she is a witch. Aubrey Plaza is here to help her break her way out of the simulation.
Yes. And we got that. You got that from like the first scene she was in, because she felt like so put upon to having to pretend to do these lines, and it felt so multi-layered right out of the gate.
But also believably enough playing into the world. And I'm like, that is a lot of layers for a lady who generally deadpans.
Right.
In an excellent way, her performance.
Absolutely.
This is not a criticism
No.
of Aubrey Plaza.
Her ability to put so much stuff into it was wild.
And then coming back, so there's the murder case at the beginning. I'm still wondering, so theoretically, they said that the body, when we got to the end, and she was in like the coroner's office, they said the body was Wanda Maximoff.
That's right.
I don't know why, but I feel like the first body may not have been. My storytelling brain is like, you didn't show me a face, and we didn't see the face in the room. I'm wondering if there's like another layer to this that we are missing.
Yeah.
That I'm like, are they going to come back to this body at the end the way they came back to the genre thing moving forward?
Yeah, well, also it's like they said that the body was Wanda, but also her seeing the body in the forest at the beginning made her cry, even though she didn't know who the person was and didn't know what was going on. So it was like, why would seeing Wanda make her cry?
Well, I'm wondering if it's like the brain broken kind of thing of her seeing Wanda means she has the brief moment she almost can't connect with conscious, where the camera's almost working within the way the magic is affecting her, where she's seeing the body and having that moment of realizing how much she's lost, but it can't quite get through the filter of the magic.
That makes sense.
Which is why the
than
camera
it being
can't show
actually
it.
about the person, right?
Yeah. But I'm wondering if it is, because they're doing some really cool callbacks already out the gate with the neighbors and the references to Westview, but also the genre, and like bouncing back through the genres when she was breaking her way out of the spell.
That was
really
very cool. Yeah.
And I'm interested to hear more about that too, because we're like, okay, we've started calling him because we don't remember his name, because Del and I tend to not remember names, but we're like, there is
me especially.
We've called it the man witch. It's just the guy she arrests in her house.
Yes.
Which may have been a kidnapping, but theoretically the break-in was real. Like I don't know where the rules are there.
And honestly, it's kind of a cool thing to see because of all of these women who are really good actors and really like stand the test of time versus this boy who I think his breakout was on Heartstopper, which was Netflix.
Okay.
And I think this is the second thing he's ever been in. So that's
good for him.
I know, but that it's a great place for him to end up. But I just thought that was super cool of like the juxtaposition between like these actor lifers versus this like very, very fresh face.
Yeah, an officer mustache and random neighbor, where I'm like, these are not the same. Not that they're not the same caliber performer, because they're all quite good at what they do.
But it's like no one is overshadowing these women.
No one is television or Hollywood royalty amongst any of the men we have seen so far. But this boy he was doing this. I'm saying boy, he's probably like 25. I'm just
compared to us, it is boy. He was born in 2003. I looked it up. Okay.
Okay.
He's a boy.
He's 23. I'm doing math wrong, but I'm still close.
We're close.
He's ballpark early 20s. But watching, it was like, oh, he got kidnapped. He was in the interrogation cell.
Yes.
He was saying something aloud that felt like it was a spell.
He was doing witchy spell stuff.
Yeah, it was like generic Latin-ish dialogue.
But she didn't even take off. He was duct tape mouth at the end, so she didn't even take it off. So we didn't even get whether or not that's real or not.
That's the next thing. Yeah. I think that's the thread that they're leaving us.
And that's why I'm like intrigued. I'm like, okay, we set up some pretty interesting characters. I'm cool to
Episode 2 is Man-Witch. I'm ready. Walk me through the Man-Witch.
Yeah.
But he was doing his spell, and I'm just like, I'm fascinated to see where that's going, because it broke the world, but not in the same way that Aubrey Plaza did.
Yes.
Where Aubrey Plaza seemed to want her to, like, intellectualize her own escape, like figure out the flaws in the simulation to break her way out.
That is interesting to think that, like, while all these people have been stuck in that simulation, that other people keep wandering in and trying to mess with it or trying to figure stuff out that's going on. But obviously only people who have magic can do that, because otherwise aren't they stuck in that, like, simulation of a little town?
I thought the implication was that she was stuck in the little town in her own mind, but Westview had gone back to normal, which is why Herb was like, we don't say that name, but you've been here for 3 years. So we're like, in her head, she has been genre hopping.
Yes. That makes
3
sense.
years.
Yeah.
Which I think is the amount of time between WandaVision now and the release.
I think so. Yeah.
So
that makes sense.
That's canonically. So she has been trapped in this spell, but no one else has been. Is at least the way I read it at this point.
I could see that.
Because then it's like, oh, she breaks out and she's like, what the hell? And they're like, you've been kind of weird. You've been real true crime this week. And I'm like, what other genres has
she been
Agatha
doing?
been?
Yeah, for years at this point.
Yeah.
It's
or
very
is it
silly.
still the boring thing and she's stuck in it? The Man-Witch feels like he wouldn't blend into a normal town, but he could be a witch. All right, we got a big question then, Del, that we'll have to consider for future. Is even the town still in the dream? It's just she's in the modern version of the dream, of the spell.
Yeah.
Because I thought Wanda at the end lifted the spell.
I thought she did too.
So I think it's just
it was
brain
just
spell.
her. But this is, again, like, we need so much reference outside of the show to know what's going on.
I mean, that's the way Marvel works. Indeed. But so I think, but the Man-Witch, I'm so sorry.
So sorry.
I'm so sorry, Man-Witch. But the Man-Witch, when he was doing his, like, ex domino phenomenon, whatever. It wasn't even subtitled, which was really interesting for us watching with subtitles.
Just like muttering.
The spell was just muttering. But he changed the world in ways that were not subtle. Aubrey Plaza talked to Agatha in a way that was like pointing out the internal inconsistencies of the world. Mm-hmm. Whereas when she was with the Man-Witch, it was first the photos just became completely different photos.
Yes.
But then Aubrey Plaza was gone.
Yes.
And then he started saying his spell, and the mirror became a painting.
Right.
Which I don't remember having any significance other than his words could adjust the environment.
It could take her out of whatever
she shut him
up
and dumped him out of the scene.
Yes.
Which makes me think, my story gut says he's a witch that's on her side.
Yes.
Whereas Aubrey Plaza is part of the I guess, bazillion. There's like 8 witches who don't like her.
I was going to say, there seems to be a coven of some sort that has rules or something going on with them.
I wonder if she had like a teen assistant.
Yeah, right.
She's like, go be a goth over there.
Yeah. Or otherwise that he knows something about witches or whatever and wants her to help him with something.
If she has to teach just a young goth boy
to
how
be
be a witch.
We're here for that.
I'm totally on board for that.
Yeah.
The other thing I think that we need to address right up front is, will Aubrey Plaza and Catherine Hahn kiss before the end of the season?
I want them to.
I want them to kiss.
She licked her
badly.
hand.
Absolutely.
The instant chemistry between those two is sort of insane.
Yeah. Watching them in that pizza scene, we had multiple scenes where we were like, I don't even think the TV can handle it. No. I don't think the TV can handle how much charisma you get from Aubrey Plaza and Catherine Hahn having a conversation.
Yeah, and even with Catherine Hahn stuck in the TV show.
Weird Midwestern, insanely dialogued woman.
Yes. Even through that, we could see the chemistry. And then the moment it was the two of them as witches facing off, it was like, oh my God, kiss.
Do you think those two, because they always say that the biggest hate comes from love.
Yes.
Do you think that Catherine Hahn and Aubrey Plaza had a previous witch romance that went wrong, and that's why they hate each other now?
You mean they're like hateful exes at this point?
Could it have been a witch marriage? That's why they can't harm each other. Like there was some kind of spell of romantic binding.
Yeah, maybe they were old friends who all joined a witch coven together, and they were very close, and then
the Man-Witch is their son.
The power pulled them apart.
The Man-Witch is their son.
The Man-Witch is their son. I do like that. Made from magic. Who knows?
He's a familiar.
Maybe he is.
He could be a familiar. That'd be, oh man. Aubrey Plaza and Catherine Hahn.
Here's the question. Did Aubrey Plaza see that boy?
The door to the closet was open, but she never addressed the fact that there was a boy in the
because
closet.
she saw Agatha beating him up in the crime scene and was like wagging her finger at him.
Don't hit him.
Don't hit him.
True. Strong evidence of son. I think my son theory is growing here. But No, those two, because even the pizza scene, it was just
The
like,
pizza
oh,
scene.
they are acting.
They were eye fucking, like, right away. Like, I can't put it any less nice than that.
You're completely correct.
That's
Yes.
what it was happening.
They were. They're in love. The two actresses are in love. Though Aubrey Plaza has some of the most smoldering charisma
I was going to say.
any
She could
actor
point
of
it
our
at
era.
anybody.
And she has.
Yeah.
She's pointed at Robert De Niro. She's pointed at other places.
Nuts.
Have you heard her anecdote about Robert De Niro?
No.
She was doing a movie. I think it was like a Zac Efron comedy with Robert De Niro. And it's like Zac Efron and Robert De Niro traveling around and doing spring break together.
Okay.
And Aubrey Plaza is, I think, playing someone, I didn't see the movie, but who has like a big thing with Robert De Niro.
Yeah.
So Robert De Niro had gotten people like gifts before the movie started as just like hello gifts, and she wasn't sure what to get him, so she bought him like a book, but she took a really racy photo of herself and put that photo in like in between like the 6th and 7th pages of the book. So like looking forward to working with you, and slipped it under his door. And then she said he didn't comment for like a week.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh no, did I do the wrong thing? Did he not get it? Oh no, it's weird. And then he came up to her and he was like, I really liked the book you gave me. I didn't get past page 7.
Oh, shit. Fuck. She's so cool.
She's awesome.
She's so cool.
She's so cool.
Yeah.
But I was really fascinated by the shift. You did have, I think, your moment of full awakening to who Aubrey Plaza was going to be in this, as she came in. Those boots came into frame.
The boots came into frame. I was like, I'm done. I'm done already.
Yeah, I think you said like, oh, I hope it's not too much. It's just like, oh, absolute love. But the idea of like the fight between the two of them was interesting. Mm-hmm. Pain as a concept
for witches.
It's like remembering pain, and I was like, does Aubrey
they're so
Plaza
powerful that they.
Or has it been that she's fighting for so long? Because it seemed like there was a certain element of I mean, in any of the historical stuff, it's like blood as magic. It seemed like there's a ritual quality to it.
They do that a lot. Because even her knife was like ritual knife style and all that.
Yeah. And I don't know.
Yeah.
Because she went for the neck right away, but it seemed like they could stop it. And then it was just physically vulnerable. Like there's some really big questions there.
No, well, and then the fact that she's like, hey, you can't actually kill me, so walk away. And she's like, yeah.
Yeah,
So I'm like, why did you come at her so hard unless it's just sexy foreplay for them, you know? I don't know. Look, I'm just stating facts as I see them.
We need to explore these facts even more after this commercial break. And we're back from commercial break. Yes, they're like because I'm like the blood is interesting. Yeah, she went to kill her, but then revealed she couldn't.
But that's why I'm like, it has to be a coven of witches or something where they have like laws, like, hey, don't do a murder of any of the people in our circle because then the power gets all woogity doo doo doo.
Yeah, but do you think witches licking each other heals their wounds? Do you think that was a magical gift, or do you think that was just a sexy gesture?
Gift lick. That's what I think.
It was a magic tonguing.
I think it was. It was like Vampire the Masquerade style magical liquors to fix wounds, you know, just between witch friends.
Do you think Aubrey Plaza in real life also has that power? I just want to know your theory.
1,000%.
If Aubrey Plaza licks a wound, it heals.
That's correct.
Good for her.
I think that's true.
I honestly, from what I've seen, I can't argue.
Yeah. You know, I'm sure she doesn't use that power all the time. She can't put that out there because then a lot of people will ask for her services. But
yeah, and I don't think you want to lick a lot of people's blood.
I'm just saying, it seems. I don't think that was a trick of like, you know, TV magic. I think that they just shot it on the day.
I think they may not have cut Catherine Hahn for real. I'm going to throw that out there. I think it may have been a trick.
I don't know.
We don't know.
You can't prove it one way or the other.
Email us, Aubrey Plaza.
If
you tell us in the comments, we will believe you. But no, because I'm really fascinated because the ritual knife was interesting.
Yeah.
And the fight was interesting because it came more physical. But she seemed to imply that she could harm her.
Yeah.
But couldn't kill her.
Right. They seem to have a witch vendetta. And she seemed to be just wanting to threaten her because of witch vendetta and or losing this Darkhold book
She lost the book. So whether it was Aubrey Plaza who had the book.
Okay, here's this. Maybe in their witches coven, only one of the witches gets to hold the special book. And she got voted over Aubrey Plaza. And so that's why she's mad.
That might be. See, I believe that. Okay. Or they worked together to steal it and Catherine Hahn just fucked off completely with it and took off with the book, which is why it's like
a very
vendetta.
spurned vendetta. Yeah,
maybe even pretended to love her. Admittedly, I'm just cheering for these two to be in a relationship. Oh my God, yes!
Please kiss.
Hate each other, fight, then kiss.
No, as soon as they were both on screen together, I think I said, I know why the internet is enjoying the show, because even if they don't kiss, everyone's just like, kiss, kiss. Like, there's got to be fan art.
Well, I mean, also they brought that's not even a question.
I haven't seen it, is why I'm saying. Like, I don't know.
If only episode 1 had aired, we would be getting fan art.
That's true. That's true.
We can go look for it later.
No,
and
we
confirm.
can't with spoilies, but yes, later. We'll do that.
We will risk nothing.
After the ending, I'll go look for fan art.
After the final episode, you will be able to look for fan art, and I will be able to look up trivia about the production of the show. But we're avoiding both.
We can share free with each other. Yeah.
There's clearly, I mean, like sexual overtones that are also done explicitly and visually.
Right.
It's the same way that they talk about. I mean, I'm going to use the word penetration a lot. Let's just acknowledge this up front.
This is the raciest episode you've ever done of anything. Oh my God.
But it's the same way they talk about like vampires as the idea of like being pursued. But this was such a conflict.
Yeah.
And like a physical exchange. There was a lot of emotional distance and connection. Like, do you know why you hate me? Do you not? This secret kind of interplay of somebody leading somebody down this path that they're not quite there.
Right,
and then they're both back into themselves. There is a literal physical battle for dominance.
Right.
And the threat from the very beginning is with a knife, which in film terms, especially horror terms,
stabby.
Yeah, stabbing often falls into that category of like it's two women battling over who will penetrate who.
Yeah, who's the top?
Who is the top?
We don't know.
It's Aubrey Plaza. We don't know is the biggest lie you've ever told.
I don't know. She could be a power bottom. We don't know this.
I think Aubrey Plaza is capable of
switching. She can do
whatever
she wants.
I want to see Aubrey Plaza. After this, I'm like, Aubrey Plaza's Frankenfurter is something we all need in this world.
Stop giving me things that I want that I can't have.
Oh, that'd be so good, though.
It would be. God. All female cast. Let's just roll with it.
I mean, we may get that in this show because they're playing
exciting.
forwards. Do you think they're going to keep playing with genres, or do you think they're done? Do you think they were doing that in the opening episode to acknowledge it and it's going out of the way? Or do you think we're going to see future things in future episodes?
I'm hoping it's just the tie-in coming off of WandaVision to kind of seed us where we're starting. But I'm very intrigued. I would like more locales. I would like to move away from this town, especially because all of WandaVision was just in this town for the most part. That I'm excited to see other stuff. So I hope that they move forward. Like, I don't know, is it going to be a road trip with Agatha and Manwich?
Well, they've mentioned Eastview.
Yeah.
So Westview and Eastview feel like that, but at the same time, Aubrey Plaza, we'll eventually learn these characters' names if they get said enough times that they stick in our brains.
I have trouble with that. I always nickname every character on every show we watch.
Correct, and I even do it on our TTRPGs. But the Man-Witch is a question mark that is just designed to be explored. I'm excited for more Man-Witch.
Yeah, no, it seems like that he is the puzzle box of the show, even setting him up as being like, he's a mystery and then he's gagged.
He's a helpful mystery, but she doesn't know.
I don't know.
The Salem 7 have been dropped. Admittedly, we are not hardcore Marvel comic people, so I don't know if that's an established thing in Marvel lore or something they made up here.
And we're way outside of my knowledge. Like, I knew more about Wanda and about some of those, like Agatha, I know nothing about.
Oh, nothing.
Yeah.
I got a question for you, and just in pure theory, do you think the Salem 7 are 7 witches, or do you think the Salem 7 are 7 witch hunters? Do you think they are like the new generation of people hunting for witches? Because Aubrey Plaza said that Agatha had all of these other people who
wanted to kill her.
Yeah. And the Salem 7 would be here by sundown, which makes me think Agatha doesn't have a lot of options on where to run.
You're right. I'm going to vote that they're all witches. I feel like it may be kind of what you said, of that maybe all the witches were working together to do something, and Agatha took the powerful book and fucked off and fucked all of them over. So that they all just want to hurt her now.
Yeah, she got like the only copy of the Darkhold and had this super powerful book herself and hid herself with it and went about her own plans to try to capture all this stuff and then just beefed it. And now she's stuck here.
And then all of her quote unquote previous friends or whatever, man. I'm almost feeling like this is like my 7 evil exes. It's like Agatha's, it's 7 people that she pissed off.
It's Agatha Pilgrim verse.
Yes. That
saves the world.
Yeah, exactly. That's my vote. But yeah, it does.
That'd be fun.
It does seem like.
I bet I bet and hope all 7 are women we would recognize.
Yes.
Like, I want 7 kick-ass ladies
100%.
to show up.
Yeah.
I basically don't need another man in this show.
I agree.
I'm cool with these weird subservient, like Officer Mustache just being kind of a dork is delightful, and Herb being pleasant. I feel like Man-Witch... I'd like some more Man-Witch.
Absolutely,
That's good.
absolutely.
I want to know, but
Yeah.
Salem
But it
7,
seems
I'm
like
super interested in.
the 3 of them have top billing, I'm assuming?
There's one more person I'm aware of in the world who's also in the show.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell you.
But even from the exit, the top billing of that episode, I guess, is just those 3. But
yeah, the biggest. I mean, the biggest are Catherine Hahn, Aubrey Plaza. They're a tier above everybody else.
Yeah, and I think that the boy, hold on, I'm going to look up his name.
You can absolutely
I'm going to
look
look up his name for you.
But do not, this is a weird thing with IMDb on your phone.
Yes.
Do not scroll down to see this show because you will see how many episodes he is on, which you do not want to know.
I see.
Because if he's only 2 episodes, look up Heartstopper.
I just said it's Joe Locke is his name.
Joe Locke. I'm fascinated to know more about Joe Locke. But yeah, that's the danger when you're watching one of these shows. And I'll say this to anybody at home too. If you're IMDbing somebody on a TV series, especially if it's one you are not caught up on.
It's technically spoilers.
It is a huge challenge when you think like, oh, this person's awesome in the pilot. I can't wait to see. And you see they did 3 episodes and you're like, they're taking
What
a bullet
happened?
pretty early.
Yeah. Oh no.
But the Salem 7, I'm very interested in as a concept. And we've got Aubrey Plaza, who I guess is going to wait in the wings.
I guess.
To show up.
Do you think she's going to show up and keep saving her, being like, I'm the only one who's allowed to murder you?
I think that's it.
know,
I think she's going to let people...
They're in love.
She's going to bomb back in and be like, this is the story of Catwoman, and Aubrey Plaza's just Batman coming in from the side and being like, you can't have her, Joker.
Yeah, nobody else
Joker
can beat you up.
Bail out and
I
immediately
hate you,
leave
but
her
no
in
one
prison.
else can. Yeah. Absolutely. And I'm intrigued to see what'll happen in the second episode because it almost felt like this first episode set up these characters, but also was more of a like, here's the end of WandaVision, here's a setup for new characters. So I'm like, I want this second episode to tell us like what is going to be the impetus.
Where's the show going?
Yeah, what is it going to be from now on?
I do agree. This first episode felt like half of a pilot for me.
Yeah.
Like they spent the time doing it. I will say it didn't feel to me, some of the Marvel shows, not all of them, but some of the Marvel shows, the first couple of episodes, it's felt like it's taken 3 or 4 episodes.
Right.
That I'm like, you could have compressed this. Like, instead of doing 10 episodes of a Marvel show, you could have had 4 episodes of an Incredible miniseries.
No, it's true.
And you just like padded it out.
Yeah, and I also feel like they do a lot of stuff in the Marvel stuff, especially of like just vibes. Like, we're going to make this bigger because vibes. Because
this doesn't really increase plot. It doesn't really establish character, but we like these people talking in this way.
Exactly. So even the beginning with the True Detective opener and all that was probably 2 or 3 times longer than it had to be. You could have given us a little taste and then moved on to other things, but it was like most of the episode was that. And then revealing that wasn't reality. So it's like we had a whole, it's all a dream for most of the episodes. So I'm like, I'm curious to know what it will be moving forward as far as like what's the main story.
Well, one of the few things that I know about this kind of as a series in general is that this is 9 episodes.
Yes.
And very rarely does a network order 9 episodes.
Yeah.
Usually you'd order 8.
I was going to say, it seems...
Which makes me wonder if they had this, like the first 2 episodes really were the pilot, and they shot it, and they were like, we actually get more of these cool moments that'll pay off later if we just give it more time. Because no studio on Earth is going to be, we paid you for 8 episodes, you filmed them, and we have 9 watchable episodes.
Right.
Why don't you do less, and we'll just get less out of our money?
Yeah.
But yeah, because you're right. It was a lot of the, but I didn't hate it.
Right. No, and I think
the
there's a lot.
performances were so strong that I was like,
the performances were so strong. And I think also it was interesting because there's a lot of cool visuals in it. Yeah. And even cool visuals like of her house and like wallpaper and things, a lot of weird magic-y things that I also felt like will probably pay off later. Because it's like, you don't put that much production value into something at the outset like that with the amount of specificity without it being for a reason.
Yeah, there was only one shot that I felt like I had that I spotted where I was like, oh, this just doesn't match at all.
Right.
And it's Catherine Hahn in the parking lot going into the police station for the first time, because you watch her walk through and outside it's all gray True Detective, and she walks in and it's gray True Detective inside, but outside the parking lot is super bright, blown out, super vibrant trees in the background. And I was like, oh, you shot Catherine Hahn and you had your like board over her blocking the sun,
right,
so that you could color balance something, but you just could not solve it from inside to make it not daytime.
Yeah.
So that's the only shot in the whole thing where I spotted anything. And they did some really interesting framing, especially around the fight. The fight was decent, and I could understand what was happening.
Right.
It's really easy on a lot of these shows, especially when they've shot fights pretty quickly. You know, you watch every cop show, the fist fight before they arrest the person. It kind of sucks.
Yeah.
And you can even see it on like some projects, and the teams acknowledge this. So like, I'm not knocking anybody because stunt performers are amazing. The people working on this absolutely know what they're doing. But Iron Fist, I don't know if you'd seen any of Iron Fist,
seen any of
but
that.
they showed one fight, and it at one point it was including 3 cuts on a single punch, which is crazy. 3 cuts on a punch in a sequence where they did that with every move.
Oh, wow.
And it was just like, they didn't quite have enough time to shoot it the way they'd rehearsed it, so you're improvising, you have to cut it differently, and it doesn't work. Whereas this fight, I was like, it's telling a story between these 2 women. They have different styles. You can tell who's winning at any given time, even though it doesn't seem like they can kill each other.
Right.
They did great. I love Catherine Hahn just getting flipped into stuff and coming down angry.
I like the marriage of the physical fighting and the magic, because sometimes magic fights can get to be a lot of like, we're both standing and waving hands at each other. But it felt cool that it was like, flipping her into a bookcase, but then they're on top of each other rolling around.
Magic ninja versus tough lady.
Kiss.
I'm like, perfect. And you did. Yes. Yes. We both were like, could this be kissing?
Yes.
My biggest complaint is no kissing, and I'm so glad they're making me wait for kissing.
That's fine.
It will
We can
make
wait
me
for
walk
that.
down this
We can
path.
wait for that.
We don't know if we're going to get that, but we said during this, I mean, we got a butt.
Yeah. We did
We
get a
saw
butt, which is amazing.
I am
didn't expect
shocked
Disney to
by-
do that.
For Disney to do blood.
Yeah.
For Disney to
Legit.
do
Yeah.
a butt. Because I was expecting like the first shot of Catherine Hahn walking out when she finally comes back to herself.
Most of the frame is a blurry like plant in the foreground.
And she's so blurred out in the background,
Yes,
you can't see her at all. And then to see a butt, but even more so, the fight had actual blood in it.
Right. That's
And
true.
blood is a huge line for PG-13 to R. A massive line. And
so
all
maybe
the
it
Marvel
won't be
movies,
actually spooky.
yeah, all the Marvel movies in PG-13, but to show Catherine Hahn with her hand wrapped around a knife, and I even said it when it happened, I was like, ooh, she's holding the knife part. That's not the part you want to hold.
Yep.
And then the idea of that and the blood and pulling, just so cool. Because I wasn't expecting it to be gnarly at all. And I was like, this is gnarly. Even with sound, we don't see a lot of it, but I loved it. Because that bodes really well for where this can go. Because I was like, it
can get more hardcore than it's anticipated. Yeah, out of the gate.
They're absolutely going for it. And I think
even
that shows a lot of potential.
Even starting with kind of the True Detective True Crime opener with a dead body also felt like, okay, this is more pushing it than the WandaVision was, because you're already starting it in a genre that has not been explored by Marvel stuff.
Yeah, I love the True Detective opening. I like that there was a body right up front. It was like, the idea, also the Marvelisms of, are you sure they're dead? Really? Are you really sure?
Yeah.
Like, I think it's there. And I think, admittedly, one of the things now looking back that I'm like, maybe we were missing this from WandaVision was the hands and the feet. There may have been something there that was hinting at Wanda Maximoff that I just didn't remember until the hair was there, the tag. Some of there's some dialogue in this that I found really funny, where I can't quite tell if it was intentional or not.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the Disney Marvel jokes tend to be very like blunt. You're like, this is a joke. This is serious dialogue. And some of these, admittedly, anytime I hear somebody have to say the word crick in a serious sentence, maybe my Canadian sensibility, but it's very, very funny to me. Is the word crick funny to you in your Ohioan ways?
No, and that's why, like, in my opinion, that's what I thought it was, thinking of like True Detective genre, those types of things, is Kate Winslet in Mayor of Easttown. She like perfected the Pennsylvania accent to do that part, and there was a lot of hubbub about it, that she did this really good, but it's a similar kind of accent, so I feel like it's a reference to that.
That's a deep cut true crime reference. I don't watch a ton of, I've got enough that I know the big series, but I've missed some of the
that
niche,
one was I watched that one, but yeah, there was a ton of stuff about like she disappeared into this character and did this accent that's a very Pennsylvania specific area accent. And so to me, the big acting and even Crick and some of the word like choices, to me, it's a very specific Mayor of Easttown reference.
I guess if everybody else had done it, I might have followed a little better.
Yeah.
But it was just her doing it?
It was just her doing it.
And I was like, this doesn't strike me as Westview when I look at it. But I was like, I don't have a complaint about it because it was entertaining. but I didn't know why it was happening.
Yes, and to me, I think it's that, but it also, I guess, is like, that's where I was like, it's going to be super meta, because I almost feel like she was doing the accent and all of the other people weren't doing an accent because they weren't actually in the spell under that spell, because he made the reference that, like, she's been capturing people and talking to people.
I get that, but I'm like, I guess it's just
yeah,
that
it was
stretch
very
to me where
particular.
I'm like, that's where you can kind of get a little lost in the weeds in terms of
what is this referencing?
Layer on
what
layer
is this
on layer on layer.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, if this is a reference that's only to one specific show and is not genre wide,
right,
that's really different to commit to it so heavily,
right,
and be like, we're doing True Detective, but we're doing Mayor of Easttown for this one person,
right.
You better have seen it,
yeah,
or you're in trouble.
I know, and I think that's why, because she also has that same like vibe of like just a woman who's not trying to put on airs or be any specific. She's really hard-nosed and all that stuff. So it's like, I don't know why they picked that.
They had, when she had come out of it in her apartment, Mayor of Easttown was on TV, and I heard that voice out of Kate Winslet for an instant, and I'm like, that voice is that voice. She smashes the TV, and we don't have to see it again. But just, if you're going to give me a reference specific, as somebody who doesn't know.
No, it's true.
Because like the first show was really like, we're doing Leave It to Beaver. We're doing like these big, broad, almost decades of television.
Yeah.
And yeah, some of them were really specific. The modern one was clearly Modern Family for WandaVision. Right. But if you hadn't seen that, you could be like, oh, this is The Office. There are so many shows that match that, where I was like, oh, I don't know this.
Yeah.
But the funniest line for me, I think unintentionally funny, was like, the same things that you're roasting me with are what make me dangerous. And I was like,
roasting.
And Catherine Hahn is a very good actress.
Yeah.
So I am not criticizing you, Catherine Hahn, because I love you and I love everything you ever do. I will watch everything ever for years. Tyler, special news correspondent, who is not here and will not be a part of this. Tyler and I have constantly talked about how Catherine Hahn needs more of her own things.
Yes,
just Catherine Hahn vehicles need
Ryan
to exist.
is a Catherine Hahn stan. Confirmed.
Yeah, I will absolutely confirm. Catherine Hahn, queen of our hearts.
Yeah.
But like, so good. But that line. I don't think that line is deliverable in a way that makes it sound sincere.
Well, I think that was also the hard thing about the True Detective, that kind of genre reference, is it was at the same time playing very into it, but then also playing very tongue-in-cheek goofy at the same time.
But
and it was like,
the tone didn't quite sink into either.
Yeah.
It reminded me of Riverdale.
Right.
The way Riverdale had tackled some of the more serious stuff, where I was like, just missing it a little bit, where they're like, it's dark, but also this guy loves hamburgers, and you're like, I don't know how this is going together.
There's a dead body, but also what?
Yeah, it didn't feel like prestige true crime.
No,
it felt like it was referencing it, which is why I was so surprised and pleasantly surprised when it was so much more violent and dark at the end. Because I felt like
the goofiness kind of was like, oh, okay, what are we getting into here? What's it going to be like?
Yeah, it was like, are you afraid of doing the darker, more brooding version of this?
Yeah.
But then the end, I'm like, ooh, I have hope for escalation from here. Because if this is where we're starting, then I think we can get somewhere we're interested in. And if this stays in town, I'm like, give me the Gremlins, give me the Jaws, give me all the monsters come to Nice Person Town.
Yeah.
And let's explore horror through the lens of people near Agatha.
Yeah.
Do you think she's going to get her purple back by the end of the season, or do you think the lesson is that Agatha doesn't get magic?
No, she got to get magic back.
How many episodes till she gets her magic back?
It's going to be the last 2 episodes. She's got to be like Kevin McAllister, this house, and like fight all the witches and be a normal person and maybe learn a lesson, and then she gets her magic back. I don't know.
You had cynically predicted no witches.
Yeah, so I
proved
season. Wrong. There was a witch in episode 1.
There was.
But it's not Agatha.
Do you feel like a fight that didn't involve magic other than wind blowing, does that count?
Yeah, because a normal person can't throw someone into a wall with wind.
In Marvel World? I guess not with wind. Okay, so that counts.
I'd say this counts.
Do you think Aubrey Plaza has color magic, and do you think it's purple or a different color?
Oh, that's a great question. Yeah, she didn't really use any color. She just kind of used some wind.
She had wind.
Maybe it's because she doesn't have the magic book, so she doesn't have a special color, and that's why she's mad.
But Agatha said she's got to get her purple back, which implied she's always had the purple magic.
That's true. Unless the purple was the big magic that came from that book. I don't know.
No, but then she wants to get it back, so if the book's gone.
Yeah. That's true.
Do you think it's like Jedi's lightsabers? Like if you go,
the magic is a specific color once you unlock.
Land, they'll give you a little it's like 2 rings with a string in between with a light. You can pick your magic.
Yeah, maybe.
What color is Aubrey Plaza's magic? We have purple for Agatha.
Oh man.
What color is Aubrey Plaza, and what color do you think the Man Witch Manwich, I feel yellow. I don't have a reason, but I stand by that.
I like that. Aubrey Plaza. That is a tough one. It's like I want to lean red, but it's too generic. She needs something more special than that.
Do you think it could be black? Because I would love her with like carving a black line in the air and going through it. Like that would be super cool.
That would be cool. Yeah, I think maybe it's the more colorless darkness magic for her.
Yeah.
Also, you could explain the dog thing. She hates dogs but likes a rabbit. That came up. So what does rabbit mean versus like about the screenwriting dog situation?
So dogs are pretty universally used in screenwriting to show when you should like someone.
Yes.
Which is if dogs like someone, they're a good person. Which they've used in a bunch of movies. But more importantly, if a dog doesn't like someone, they're bad. If you remember Dogs Bark at the Terminator.
Yep.
There's a bunch of stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So Agatha saying, even in true crime world, like, stupid dog. Dog is also so delightful. And I turned to you right there. I was like, she's a villain.
She doesn't like the dog.
She's bad.
Yeah.
But then her talking to a rabbit is so fascinating because it's not a cat.
It's not a cat, which is normally the antithesis of the dog.
But I would love it. I think that's where you can do some cool personalization that I hope when we meet other witches, it's like, what animal does each of them have and what color is each of their magic?
Yes.
Because I think outfit, like familiar color of magic, and then I'm like, you could do a cool group cosplay as all the witches to be like, who's who, do the outfit, do the color, do the
different
vibe.
Schemes. Yeah. So maybe all the different episodes will have a different color scheme or something if she's fighting each different witch and they bring their vibes into the house,
Well, if each episode is an enemy
Yeah.
and is introducing a new kind of magic, she has to learn how to work her way around until she gets her power back. That's a pretty cool progression. I'm cool with a little bit of like Witch of the Week style villain as it moves forward.
Be cool.
That'd be cool.
That'd be really cool.
Or Agatha gets her purple back and it's like her making friends with witches again. Because I do like the idea of, the Salem
Witch
7.
team.
The Salem 7 are witch hunters. And she's got Aubrey Plazas, all these witches who want to kill her, who she ends up unifying with to form like a new coven by the end of the season.
Beat up the witch hunters.
That'd be cool too.
That'd be cool. Girl power.
I'm really fascinated to see where this is going. We have a lot of theories. And,
I know.
And we've kind of seen half of a pilot. It's true. The one thing we haven't got, other than a bunch of people are going to come to town. So we know a bunch of people are going to come to town to try to kill Agatha.
Yes.
Aubrey Plaza is the final boss.
Yes.
Theoretically.
Yeah.
The Man-Witch is episode. I assume the Man-Witch is the second half of the pilot / episode 2.
Yes.
He's going to give us the information that we're missing currently.
Right.
As either Agatha knows who everyone is, or he's going to be the exposition machine to be like, the Salem 7, you don't know what they've been up to for 3 years. They've been doing this, 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 and this.
Oh, yeah. Well, the only other thing we didn't touch on, and I don't know if it's just part of the true crime backstory or whatever, did it in trying to imply she had a fridged son or something?
I think the kid's real.
Yeah.
That felt too grounded to
because it also felt weird for her to interact with. Like she didn't... That when she looked into that room, there was still witchy stuff on the walls, and it looked like her real house.
100%. You're correct. I think the real son's... I think that's true.
Yeah.
Could Manwitch be the lost kid?
That, I don't know.
What was the name? Oh, I can't remember.
I can't remember. We'd have to...
We're not going to do that.
We're not going to go back and look, but it was something because it said his name and then said winner
something
of something.
Stick.
Yes.
Nancy? Might have been Nancy. I can't remember. But I'm like, no, because the one thing we don't know a ton about is Agatha's backstory.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you think we're going to get a flashback episode?
That would be cool. Ancient witches. Give me the ancient witches.
They mentioned centuries.
I want the ancient witches.
I would love it if we cover the last several hundred years of Agatha. Because they also
I love when people do the makeup and show the people in different eras.
That's what I mean.
I love that.
I hope they do not do genres. I hope they do different eras where they're like, we're going to do 15th century, we're going to do 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, modern. And then we get the flashbacks to explain who the new villains are and make the relationship personal.
Yes.
And then the plot moves forward.
That makes sense.
I would love that.
Yeah. I guess we'll see what we're going to get.
Yeah, we're going to have to find out. So that was our first reaction episode. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I think we're going to circle back, though. What would you give this first episode? Out of 10 for Marvel and out of 10 for general TV?
Out of 10 for Marvel, I would say the 7 out of 10. And for general TV, I'm still giving a little lower, like 6 out of 10 for my confusions.
For Marvel, I am going to say... I'm going to give this episode a provisional 8.
Yeah.
But it depends on what's in the second episode because I feel like this is a retroactive 2-parter where they didn't tell us, but it is for story reasons. So I'm going to acknowledge that I can change this number.
Okay, we could re-review.
We can re-review, and we'll do this again at the end once we've seen the whole series to see where we stand.
To the overall
general TV, I'm going to say 6.5, 7.
Yeah.
because I think they set up some story promises, but I think if this was on traditional TV,
you'd be like, what? Huh?
You don't know enough to need to come back next week necessarily.
That's true.
If you aren't already on the bus, I don't.
It's not going to snag you.
You've got a lot
of
questions necessarily. I don't know if it is snag people who aren't into Halloween spooky stuff, witches, Marvel, etc. Admittedly, if you aren't into Halloween spooky stuff or witches, who are you?
What are you doing?
What do you do?
Yeah.
Why are you listening to
hate
this?
Fun?
Listen, we're here to watch this because we have 2 eyes and a heart.
That's right.
That's why we're watching witch stuff.
Yes.
So we will be returning for episode 2 all too soon because we are going to watch this entire series.
Yeah. And we need more Albert Plaza.
Oh, my God.
We need more. We need more of these ladies.
We're starting our kiss count now. How many episodes before they kiss? How many episodes do you think?
That would be saving for the end. They're gonna will they, won't they, up until episode 7, and then
there are 9, so 7.
Yeah. And then someone's gonna die.
I think it's gonna be 8, because I think they're gonna kiss right at the end of 8 to team up against the big bad in 9.
Yeah.
But we're gonna find out. We'll find out soon. So
maybe witch powers get transferred when they smooch. I don't know.
I can't rule
I'm
this
just
out.
asking questions.
I can't rule this out.
Okay.
For anybody who's listening out there, if you want to leave a comment on this episode, no spoilers for any future episodes, but if you have just watched episode 1 like we have, feel free to put your fan theories on where this show is going in the comments on this.
Yeah.
Because we will not know. We need to know.
We will know eventually when we watch it, but we don't know now.
Well, we won't know what your fan theories are until you tell us.
That's true.
We're all journeying on down to Agatha All Along, episode 2.
Yeah. Come on down to Witchtown.
Westview. Come see the Westview man witch. The rest of us.
Protect him.
Yep. This is Nerd News. We finished our reactions to episode 1. We'll be back with episode 2. Thank you for listening.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Nerd News. This series is produced by Dum Dums and Dice, edited by Ryan LaPlante, and our audio is mixed by Laura Hamstra. You can follow us on any social media platform at Dum Dum Dice. Support us on our Patreon at patreon.com/dumdumdice, or buy cool merch from our website, dumdumdice.com. Thanks for joining us and stay nerdy. Dum Dums and Dice has to give a special thank you to the supreme beings of our Patreon at this time: Christopher Little, George Dolby, Gavin and Abby McDonald, Logan, Fire Unfriendly, Grandma Likes D&D, Alan, Stabby Stranger, Glitch Trick, Flynn1138, Alarain Okapi, Schrodinger's Pepper, Madre de Gatos, Lady Maiden, Mithrian, Garbo Ape, Sam Schaefer, Waffle Marine, Dagger Rain, Rob L, Dia De Los Hoodless, Squishy Werewolf, Remy Funky Head, Accent Therapeutic Services in Florence, Kentucky, Lael, Shulzari, The Long Family, Jordan Oliver, Richard Wright, Brittany Fenwick, Alex Parr, Dragonfly, The Body Barrelers, Megan Werner, A Man Out of Time, Curtis at FingerTechRobotics.com, Panda24NN, Shendra D, Your Homeboy Bones, Ellis Hatch, Odigenous, Beef Not Cheese, Kai Koa, Squire Solaire, Sandy Sassy Pants, Adam, Amira Lockhart, James Molina, Nick Hemsing, and Jill and Noel LaPlante. If you want your name to be added to this list, you can join our Patreon too at patreon.com/dumdumdice. Thanks to them, and a little bit of thanks to you.